$100, $500, and finally $1,000. Today, we're going to talk about what we'd buy if we had money burning a hole in our pocket and we had to spend it on Magic the Gathering cards.
None of this is financial advice. It's all for fun, but let's talk about spending money on cardboard. The video starts right now.
Highest level of gratitude to our patrons who power the channel through Patreon. Check out the Patreon link in the description to learn about monthly giveaways, VIP Discord access, and even our official playmat. Hello and welcome to The Day.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
I'm Jake.
I'm Joel. Welcome back to another episode of Jake and Joel Are Magic. It is March, and it is time to spend some money on Magic the Gathering cards. We've got our 4 budget levels. You know what we're going to do. But before we get into our picks for the month, if you would, consider hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button if you like the video by the end of it.
It really helps us out, and it's a great way to support the channel. Today, at 4 different budget levels, we're going to talk about cards that we would buy. I'm excited. What you need to know is we never tell each other what our picks are. So it's a mystery to each of us. We get to learn what would Joel buy, what would Jake buy, and we're here kind of reacting with you in the moment to it. This is a fun series that we're kind of developing. Let us know if there's anything that you would change and what you like about it.
Big shout out to our sponsor Dragon Shield for sponsoring the video and the channel. If you want to shop Dragon Shield product, go down in the description of our video and use our link. That's going to specifically help our channel grow.
Yeah, and also if you are spending money on cards, use our TCG link. That's a great way to help us out too. Let's talk about these cards. All right, so I'll go ahead and start things off at the $10 level. You know, the way that I'm kind of like approaching this $10 level now is I'm just kind of like, if there's a good card at a good price, I would just buy it. It's not really like an investing level, in my opinion. Whereas like a couple of these other levels, it's kind of like, oh, what would I buy for 500 bucks that could possibly appreciate in price? At $10, I'm just picking up a Vesuva. I just think this is a land that, I don't have a copy of, and it's a great card to have in the collection. Being able to copy any land on the battlefield is a really unique effect. Yeah, I would just pick one of these up around the $10 range.
Yeah, seriously, if somebody's playing Gaia's Cradle, you can just drop your $10 Vesuva onto the battlefield and be like, now I have a Gaia's Cradle, you go. It's kind of fun.
Or if there's a wasteland that you want to copy so that you could answer somebody's Gaia's Cradle, for example, maybe you're not in green, that's a great way to use this card as well. It last got reprinted in Time Spiral Remastered. It's probably going to hover around this price. It's been a minute since that set came out. If you don't have a copy of it, it's never a card that you're going to hate having. Everything in this on this channel it kind of comes through the lens of either MTG Finance or Commander content. So, you know, a lot of my purchases do have Commander in mind.
For March at the $10 level, Jake, I'm going to look at a card that got a huge reprint in Jumpstart, and it's currently at its all-time low right now, and that's Rise of the Dark Realms. This is just a huge card for the color black in Commander, and you can tell that the mono black player in me is coming out because I'm like, oh, could I pay a ton of mana to return all creatures onto my battlefield? Yeah, okay, yeah, I think I'll do that. M14 was the only version of this card that we had, and it was around 30 bucks just based on scarcity, but this Jumpstart reprint has punched a really just fun slam it down on the battlefield and watch everybody go, oh my god, can anybody exile graveyards at instant speed? And for only 10 bucks, I would really like a fun effect like that.
What's cool about this card is, you know, because of the casting cost of it, obviously it's not going to be, you know, super high tier, but for anything casual to mid power level, I think it's a great card. It's one of these big splashy effects that people are really interested in. I do like that pickup.
Let's jump into the $100 level, Jake, and I'm going to look at a set that has just been released, and I want to pick up 4 of Boseiju Who Endures. Just the base copy of this. It's $25 right now. I could get a 4 set of Boseiju Who Endures for $100 and just have them. I know this card is just going to be like a 4 of in some legacy or modern deck. I know that this card I'm going to want to put one of in any commander deck that runs green because it's so good. Anytime you get utility value out of your land slot, that is a huge deal in Commander. I know a lot of newer players won't go, oh, land's the most exciting. But if you're around here for any amount of time, you'll see that we get real excited over real estate in Commander specifically, but in MTG as just at large. And so right now, getting a 4 set of this, if you're just like, I want to spend $100, how should I do it? I don't think that this is going to see a reprint for a while, 2 years minimum.
Dude, people compare this card to Assassin's Trophy. This card is, you know, versatility on a land. That channel ability is just so good. You do that at instant speed. That's why people are comparing it to Assassin's Trophy, is the fact that you're able to do it for 2 mana. It's less mana restrictive. It's just a very, very, very strong card. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised that I didn't arrive at this one. I support this at $100 level. I think it's a really good.
It gets the Jake stamp of approval.
It's right out the gate. You know, it's a fresh set. It's a card that's very good. That's going to have modern application. You know, I was just talking to, you know, a couple of the Commander players in the area. One of them was really excited to open the extended art Besiju. And I was like, are you playing that in Modern or Commander? He's like, dude, it's the only card I want from the set, and I want it for Commander. So there's players out there that are just very excited to pick up these channel lands just for Commander decks aside. And that doesn't even take into account Legacy or Modern or any other formats that could want it.
Jake, it doesn't come into play tapped.
I mean, that's what makes it very good. That's what makes it just good. Like, it's so good because you can play multiples of them in the deck. You know, you can play one as a land, and then you can use the other ones for the shenanigans to clear stuff up. You just get like main board versatility right out the gate. Yeah, very, very strong. I'll go ahead and talk about my $100 pickup. And today I do have 2 options. I know I'm notorious for doing this.
Oh, here we go. Can't commit.
One of them, I know I was just talking about, you know, a lot of the stuff on this channel comes through the lens of Commander application. This pick is not that. I would go with 4 Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf is at pretty much an all-time low right now.
It is.
It's at like a $20 range.
Yep.
So if you don't have a set of Tarmogoyf, you can pick them up for under 100, maybe between 80 to 90 bucks. And Tarmogoyf is on the rise. It's popping up in some Jund decks. I'm seeing it in black-green. I think the card is kind of set up for a really big comeback in a way. And it's very basic at this point. Tarmogoyf is just like, it's very good. It's very strong. It's very easy to answer. Any removal pretty much kills it.
But it used to be a huge boogeyman. It's strong as hell.
It did. It used to be like the chase mythic of like a set. Like if you opened a Tarmogoyf, you were like, that's a $100 bill. Right now it's around 20 bucks. I can't think of a better time when I'm going into stuff, whether it's MTG or stock trade. I'm looking for a very good entry. I'm looking for not losing too much money if it dips. And I don't think Tarmogoyf is going to dip very much. And again, not financial advice.
You know what's interesting about Tarmogoyf is that it plays really well with Besiju. That's going to be yet another type in the graveyard for the card to count. I know a lot of times that card's played along fetch lands so that you're getting more card types into graveyards. But it's worth noting that a card that is definitely going to enter some of these competitive metas also plays well with Tarmogoyf.
And Urza's Saga, that new Modern Horizons 2 enchantment, like it's just crazy. And my other pick at $100, I would do 2 of Neon Dynasty Neon Ink Foil Edition. And the reason is because we have Besiju and Hall of the Bandit Lord. Besiju, who shelters all, Spellslinger card, and Hall of the Bandit Lord, which is going to give stuff haste. These are 2 cards that were very scarce that are both getting printed in the set. And that's not even taking into account the other 2 cards in the Secret Lair.
Right.
But there is major value there. Freed from the Real is in there, and Ghostly Prison, another very strong card. So yeah, Neon Ink, Neon Dynasty Foil Edition, you know, you can kind of look at these Secret Lairs. Most Secret Lairs go up in value. You have to take into account fees and time it would take to sell them, but most of them do appreciate. So you could buy one of these to open these cards. If you don't have a Besiju who shelters all or Hall of the Bandit Lord, I love that at the $100 level.
Yeah, if you saw our review of the February Super Drop, you know that we are super high on that individual layer from this entire Super Drop. The foil prices of these cards, to compare them, it's crazy because these cards were already in need of a reprint. Their base level versions very expensive already. But when you look at just being able to straight up buy a foil copy of it, it's kind of insane the value that you get in that layer. Now, with the layers that have presented insane value in the past, of course, everybody buys them. It makes the price go down, down, down. But if you want the card, is what we're saying, this is your entry. He was just talking about looking for good entries. There's not a better entry than getting this for 50 bucks and just having 2 foil copies of this card.
Yeah, it's a really fun Secret Lair, and that's not going to be the only Secret Lair that we have coming up here.
Uh-oh.
And since I teased it, I might as well get into it. At my $500 level, we have something that comes in below 500, but this is the February Super Drop bundle. If you have $500 burning a hole in your pocket, I would. And I mean, I did the math here. It's typically $559.85, but you're getting it for $428. It ends up being about 23 to 24% off. Now, we were just talking about Neon Dynasty Neon Ink Foil Edition being like a $50 secret layer. That ends up being around $40 when you factor in there are price cuts if you do buy the bundle. Right. You are getting 15 products here. You're getting a lot of arena sleeves for what that's worth. You're getting 15 products worth of arena sleeves too.
Woo!
You can see all the price cuts on the site, so make sure to check the description of the video. We'll go ahead and link the current sale that's going on so you can go check it out yourself. What's crazy about this product is you're also getting the 2 Street Fighter. You're getting the foil one and the non-foil. These are 8 cards in each of these that are mechanically unique that can be commanders. So when you think about how Secret Lair Walking Dead did, when you think about how Secret Lair Stranger Things did, Bribery is in this. Kira, Praetor's Grasp is getting a reprint. There's cool lands. There's cool planeswalkers. There's a whole bundle of bundles here going on. And again, if the money is burning a hole in your pocket, I'm not ever telling anybody go spend money that you have to spend on bills on Magic cards. But if you did have to spend $500, you wanted to not buy a dual land, then go buy the current Secret Lair. I don't think you're going to hate having those cards as a pickup. There's a lot of good stuff in that collection.
In addition to the Neon Ink one, I also really like the Kaito Shizuki set from this, obviously in addition to the Street Fighter one as well. But that Kaito Shizuki set has got some really playable commander cards in it that are expensive, and this is just a way to be like, click a button and they show up at your house if you've got the money that you want to spend on them. So yeah, I mean, this is one of the more potent commander playable secret layers in a while, and so I definitely support that. All right, for my $500 level, I want to do something I did at the $100 level, and I want to look to a very recent set, Neon Dynasty. Jake, I love the full art lands from this. I know that every single set nowadays comes out with their own variation of full art lands. Some of them are hits, some of them are misses, but these for me are slam dunks. What I would do is look for foils of them around $3 each. That means that you could get 33 copies of each foil land.
Talking the basics.
The basics,
dude,
the
they're
full
beautiful.
Art, yeah, the woodblock versions for $3 each is going to be about $500. You can do the math. It's a little less, but we're still under the heading.
This is a spec, baby. I like this.
Well, it's not even a spec. It's like a personal, I love these. And if I was some rich Bezos boy, then I could take $500, get multiple playset of each of them so that I could slam them into different commander decks, have a draft set of them maybe, and have them all in foil. They look beautiful in foil. I've loved pulling these. And for $500, this is the one that I would go in on as far as like the full art lands from recent memory. I've never seen one that I liked more than this so far. And so I would just get, 30 to 33 of each of the basics in foil, call it a $500 level.
Dude, I'm not even going to lie. I was definitely on eBay scoping those out, and I was like, these are around 3s right now. And I do want to start like scooping up like these islands, these swamps around
3s
4s
is
and
so
5s.
good for these, bro. These are going to be 6s and 8s and 10s in 2 years minimum.
Yeah, because
maybe
what's interesting about the full art version of these, right? It's a different kind of border than we typically see. It's like kind of like when we went to original Zendikar, and then when we came back to Zendikar, it's like there's different art on them, but they all have kind of like the same kind of feel. These are very different. They're different. Like when you think of the unstable lands that had that borderless treatment. They're very
ones
attractive.
That look like Pokemon energy. Yeah, I mean, this is where I want the departure to go. I know that they're popular too, because I was just up at my LGS today and I looked and I said, hey, do you have any of the basics, the special basics from Kamigawa for sale, just in singles? And he goes, I don't have a single one. Nobody is selling those to me right now. And so I know that people really like them, and I just don't think that the foils are going to stay around 3s for long. I think that that's a double price in a year or two easy.
Those will get soaked up. I definitely agree with you. What we do have to keep in mind is there will always be more lands coming out, always new variations on basics. But I do agree with you that they do have that unique, beautiful aspect about them that very much is almost like a signature to this set. God, I could not put that together.
All right, Jake, I am going to lean on a channel meme for this one. My $1,000 level. I've been watching these cards. They've been going up and up and up. The foils I'm already priced out of. I can't even get a foil of this card at the $1,000 level. That's actually what I was going to do. But then I went, whoops, that's not a thing anymore. Jake, right now, I would buy 6 or 7 Amano Lilianas at about $150 a pop. 7 of them would equal about $50 over the $1,000 budget. But if you're spending $1,000, spend $1,050 and get a 7th Amano Liliana. I'm telling you, I wanted the foils, but all of the foils that I could even find are like 3Gs easy.
Oh yeah, you're not finding foils. Nope.
No, I wrote down a note to myself when we were filming this series in January, and I was like, you know what, next month I want to buy some Amano Lilianas on that video. And I was like, I wrote down multiple Amano foils, question mark. Fast forward to trying to put the list together over the last 2 days for shooting. Bro, they're not even for sale anywhere.
Do you even know what we stream here? Oh, I'm just gonna do this all night, baby. Let's fucking go.
I know, man. I didn't know that they had gotten up that high. I was hoping for at least, you know, it would be like, okay, you'll have to spend $125 over your budget, but you can get an 1125 copy of Foil Amano Liliana. Nope, no way, not in hell. You are only getting base level copies for under 1,000. But I do think that if you want to spec on a single card, this is the kind of card that I would recommend. You know, you got $1,000 and you want to invest in MTG. Not financial advice, but I would think that Amano Lilianas are very safe from being reprints. Like, there are certain cards that are pseudo reserve lists. A lot of the secret layer stuff, Amano Liliana fits that bill for me. And so I think you'd be very safe parking $1,000, $1,050 in Amano Lilianas and have some for yourself and then have some to sell later on.
It's interesting because that era, War of the Spark, I call that the pre-variant era, which is like before we got to Throne of Eldraine and collector products, and in Ultimate Masters when we first saw box toppers, that was extended art cards that we saw for the
before
first
secret
time.
Layers too.
Yeah, before secret layers, exactly, the pre-variant era. Yeah, those were a very specific pairing with like renowned Japanese artists, and you know, they did variations, and it was only in the Japanese product. So Amano Liliana is a very rare card. We do chase it, so if you want to catch one of those streams, make sure you subscribe because we open those boxes, and many of them. But yeah, that's a great pickup, and I do think that card will appreciate, because I do remember it being around that $100 range, and now, you know, a base copy is just like 150ish, just like you're talking about. I guess I can go ahead and talk about my $1,000 level. Everybody's waited for it, and I went with old Urza foil metalworker. I don't even think you could get a near mint copy of it for 1,000. I think you would have to go with a light played version. I remember seeing this around 600 or 700. I remember a couple years ago, and I remember before that seeing it around like the $400 level for like light played, and I slept on it. And now metalworker foil is like easily, you could get a heavily played copy foil for maybe like 800 or 900 bucks, but it's just going to be busted, and it's just not even worth it. The other card that I put at this level was a From the Vault Mox Diamond, the foil Mox Diamond. It's a card that I don't have in my collection. I have a bunch of gold border metalworkers, but I don't have a legal copy of that either. So both of these cards are high on my wants list, up there with stuff like Moat, Tabernacle, Pendril Veil, all that kind of stuff, Abyss, Chains, all these cards. But I would say the Urza foil metalworker would be my number one pickup at this level. Those are my picks.
Those are our picks for our $10, $100, $500, and $1,000 tiers in the month of March. As always, let us know what your picks are for those tiers down in the comments below. We like to take comments from these videos and make another video called What You're Buying, and you could be featured in that if your comment is either on point with the info or makes us laugh.
If it's a meme, it better be good. Let's just say that. Quick reminder, if you are buying cards like we've talked about what we're buying, if you are buying, make sure to use that TCG link. That helps out the channel immensely. And if you are picking up some sleeves, do consider Dragon Shield. They are the best in the game, and we are sponsored by them. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.
If you've made it this far in the video, you like MTG Finance or you like Commander, because that's where a lot of our picks come from, you should definitely jump into our Discord. We've got a lot of great conversation going on over there. Commander games firing all the time, and we even run a Commander League through that Discord. Go jump in over there. Link is down in the description if you want to get involved. Big shout out to our editor, Joe, on this one. Joe, definitely please keep this in. Everybody watching, comment, wave at Joe. Joe edits this series for us, and he does a miraculous, fantabulous job. Jake, other than that, I'm tapped out.
You said that we were going to say a banging job.
Banging job.
We're both going to say banging at the same time, and you went with miraculous and fabulous, which don't even begin with B.
Okay, here we go.